Hey guys, I don't know if you've heard about the speech that JD Vance just made. It's blowing up all over social media right now. But he sends a very frank, pointed message to European leaders telling them, hey, maybe you need to listen to your constituents. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to show you the clip right here.
Them stronger still, which of course brings us back to Munich, where the organizers of this very conference have banned lawmakers representing populist parties on both the left and the right from participating in these conversations. Now again, we don't have to agree with everything or anything that people say. But when political leaders represent an important constituency, it is incumbent upon us to at least participate in dialogue with them. Now, to many of us on the other side of the Atlantic, it looks more and more like old entrenched interests hiding behind ugly Soviet-era words like misinformation and disinformation, who simply don't like the idea that somebody with an alternative viewpoint might express a different opinion or, God forbid, vote a different way or, even worse, win an election. Now, this is a security conference, and I'm sure you all came here prepared to talk about how exactly you intend to increase defense spending over the next few years in line with some new target. And that's great, because as President Trump has made abundantly clear, he believes that our European friends must play a bigger role in the future of this continent. We don't think you hear this term, burden sharing, but we think it's an important part of being in a shared alliance together that the Europeans step up while America focuses on areas of the world that are in great danger. But let me also ask you, how will you even begin to think through the kinds of budgeting questions if we don't know what it is that we're defending in the first place? I've heard a lot already in my conversations, and I've had many, many great conversations with many people gathered here in this room. I've heard a lot about what you need to defend yourselves from, and of course that's important. But what has seemed a little bit less clear to me, and certainly I think to many of the citizens of Europe, is what exactly it is that you're defending yourselves for. What is the positive vision that animates this shared security compact that we all believe is so important? And I believe deeply that there is no security if you are afraid of the voices, the opinions, and the conscience that guide your very own people. Europe faces many challenges, but the crisis this continent faces right now, the crisis I believe we all face together, is one of our own making.
Wow.
If you're running in fear of your own voters, there is nothing America can do for you. Nor, for that matter, is there anything that you can do for the American people who elected me and elected President Trump. You need democratic mandates to accomplish anything of value in the coming years. Have we learned nothing that thin mandates produce unstable results? But there is so much of value that can be accomplished with the kind of democratic mandate that I think will come from being more responsive to the voices of your citizens. If you're going to enjoy competitive economies, if you're going to enjoy affordable energy and secure supply chains, then you need mandates to govern, because you have to make difficult choices to enjoy all of these things. And of course, we know that very well in America. You cannot win a democratic mandate by censoring your opponents or putting them in jail, whether that's the leader of the opposition, a humble Christian praying in her own home, or a journalist trying to report the news. Nor can you win one by disregarding your basic electorate on questions like who gets to be a part of our shared society.
Okay, guys, well, we need to break this down, explain exactly what he's talking about here. But first of all, I want to say thank you for watching the video. Thank you for leaving a like, guys. The support is unreal from y'all. Those likes that you leave on each video that you watch, it's huge. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Let's jump into this. JD Vance called out European leaders for banning lawmakers from populist parties at the Munich Security Conference, which is kind of crazy. Like, they invite him to come speak, right? And he's speaking up there, and he's like, hey, guys, why'd you ban all these other people from these populist parties? Why is open dialogue being restricted at a conference that's supposed to be about security and collaboration? Are European elites afraid of what their own citizens actually think? Vance criticized how terms like misinformation and disinformation are being used as political weapons to shut down opposition. I thought that was a huge point that he made there. This echoes what we've seen in the US, where big tech and media outlets suppress dissenting views. When did free speech become a threat rather than a fundamental right? Vance reiterated President Trump's stance that Europe, they need to contribute more to their own defense instead of relying on American taxpayers. The idea of burden sharing isn't new, guys, but are European leaders actually willing to take responsibility? Should the U.S. continue footing the bill for European defense when many of these leaders openly oppose Trump and American interests? And let me know what you really think, guys, because Vance, he argues that the biggest crisis that Europe faces, it's not an external threat, but it's the fear of their own voters. Leaders are ignoring or even outright silencing the concerns of their own citizens, particularly on issues like energy, immigration, economic policy. If a government is afraid of its own people, can it really call itself a democracy? Whoa. Vance drew a hard line here, guys. He stated that democratic mandates cannot come from censorship, jailing political opponents, suppressing religious and journalistic freedom. This is a direct nod to what's happening in both Europe and the US, where opposition leaders and even everyday citizens are being targeted for their own beliefs. Are we seeing the collapse of free democratic societies in real time? I really hope not, guys. I think people need to wake up. I love what's going on right here in America, guys. Let's go. Let's peel off whatever this nasty scab is that is messing up world politics. Guys, I need to know what you think about all this. Do you agree with JD Vance that European leaders are scared of their own people? Is the suppression of populist voices a sign that global elites are losing control? Should America continue protecting Europe if they refuse to listen to their own citizens? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Let's have an open and honest discussion about where the world is heading. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe for more conservative commentary. And guys, also want to say, if you're a channel member, guys, I appreciate you so much. If you're not a channel member, consider joining the difference, guys, becoming a channel member and supporting the channel financially. I appreciate all my supporters, guys. I couldn't do it without you. I just want you to know that. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. I'll see you later with another update.